What's up, everyone? Welcome to Pat's Chat. I'm Doug Kyed, joined as always by Michael Hurley. We are a proud member of the CLNS Media Network. The show is brought to you by Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Michael is playing injured today. He was listed as doubtful earlier in
Very
the day.
doubtful. Very doubtful.
Then we had to change his status, his practice designation to limited. Now he's been upgraded to questionable, now probable. Now he's playing. So let's all give a round of applause for
Thank
Michael
you.
Hurley for
Thank you.
playing
Thank
injured
you.
today.
There's nothing more important than this podcast. You know, it's my family and then this podcast. So there's just I can't miss it. But I did have a medical incident over the weekend, which led to me, Doug. I was trying to limit my screen time today.
Wow.
I took notes on a piece of paper today.
Whoa.
I got like 4 pages of notes. So to the listeners, if you hear like it's me because I'm in 1950 going through the papers that I wrote my notes on today. So I apologize in advance for that. And I didn't have computers open. When I say Drake Maye ran for 50 yards on that one play, you just got to trust me with it. You know, like I wasn't counting. I didn't have the stats up. So that's where we're going to start. But if we were doing introductions here, would you have swag as we introduced you to the podcast, like Drake Maye?
Yeah, I mean, Drake Maye said he has no swag. I will say, if we were starting at like the very beginning of the game, before the game even started, with those individual introductions, Patriots got to work on those a little bit. The timing was off. As players were coming out, the previous player was being introduced. Some were kind of out of order. The only ones they really got it right with were Stephon Diggs and Drake Maye. But you know what? It was everyone's first time. They'll clean it up. Fun, I guess. I don't know.
It's kind of like you're in a wedding, right? And you do the rehearsal and you're
Yeah.
like, wow, this is dumb. You know what you don't rehearse is the intros at the reception. And then
Right.
sometimes you run into those issues like who's up, who's paired with who, and then
Yeah.
it leads to some confusion. So I certainly understand that. But that's too bad that they messed that up because I don't know. That was that was like the mark of the Patriots dynasty was being introduced as a team some 24 years ago. But I do suppose it's okay to change things these days.
Yeah, and change things they did. And guess what? They won anyway. The Patriots beat the Browns 32-13. I've got a take right off the bat.
Right off the bat, we're taking.
Right off the bat. Because if you thought that I wasn't going to lead with Drake Maye in this game, you're wrong.
That was one of my 2 leads, so we're simpatico.
And my lead on Drake Maye is the fact that an 18 for 24, 282 yard, 3 touchdown, 1 interception performance with 7 carries and 50 yards is considered a down game. Tells you everything you need to know about Drake Maye and how good he's been this season. The man had a 135.8 passer rating in this game. And coming out of it's like, ho hum, let's write about the run game. Let's write about the defense. Things didn't start off that well. Last year, that would have been like, oh my God, what is happening with Drake Maye? He's arrived. This is what we were all hoping for. If we had seen this in week 1, we would have been saying the same thing. Now we see it in week 8, and it's just whatever. Drake Maye had another good game. No. This isn't just a good game. That was a fantastic game. But we're all not going to talk about it that much because he's had even better games in the last 3 or 4 games. So that's where I want to start off. We're already getting a little bit spoiled with Drake Maye.
That's fair. And you didn't even, I don't think, I was listening intently, but I might have missed it. Did you mention that it was against the #1 defense in the NFL?
Against the #1 defense in the NFL. I didn't even mention that part.
This was not a bunch of crap bums out there that he was beating up. So it was that. And it was, what did we say going in? Like, this is the first real test or the biggest test of the year.
Biggest test for sure. Yeah.
So to go in and like the pick was pretty bad, I guess you could, if you want to get on that. But
I think he said after the game that he forgot that he could jump.
Yeah. Classic.
That's funny.
But yeah, he was really good. I think there were some plays, like the one where he rolled right and found Demario Douglas downfield and ripped it.
Yeah.
Was just such an athletic play that the big run he had where he broke right. I forgive me on the specifics, but it was another case where someone sized him up and was like, "Oh, I got him," and it's like, brother, you are 3 steps away. Like you are not going to make it up
No.
on the ground. So he is just doing it, man, and in his he protected himself, which was a big factor too.
Right. Yeah. Protecting himself. But also, this was with a lot of pressure bearing down. The man was sacked.
Would you say he was under pressure today?
The man was sacked 5 times by one person alone. Myles Garrett sacked him 5 times. I believe there was just one other sack. So 6 total sacks. And so, I mean, this shows that even when he is under constant pressure, he can still deliver. And we won't go so long on Drake Maye just because there are a lot of other things to discuss. But really, like, the throw to Kayshon Boutte after his long run.
Yeah, that 2-play sequence was just like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, that was a perfect throw to Kayshon Boutte. He said after the game that he thought that he overthrew him. And right now, with Drake Maye and Kayshon Boutte on a downfield throw like that, I don't think overthrowing exists.
They did have a couple incompletions today. Boutte
I know, that was
dropped
shocking.
one, and then there was, I think there was another deep incompletion. You're like, and then he completed one for 21, but it was 2 yards shy of the sticks. It was like, oh no, what's going on?
But that deep one was, it was perfect. I mean, and Kayshon Boutte has shown an ability to not only track those balls, but like hit them in stride perfectly. The ball was placed perfectly in the end zone. And Boutte, not the fastest wide receiver, but he can get by a cornerback. I think that was kind of like a double move that he pulled on that one. I didn't see a great replay of it because sometimes the replay situation when you're live at the game is not great.
I actually have to come in right off the top with that. Fox's theatrical choices for replays is tough.
Or are they all the zoomed in ones?
It's all zoomed in, so you want to see what happens, and it's just a guy running like this, just like, it's like I would like to maybe zoom out a touch and let's see where the defense is. You just
see, that is the sign of a color guy who's not great. And like, I don't mean to take a shot at what was it?
It was Schlereth today. I thought he was awesome. He was having a great time at the game today.
When it's a quarterback, when it's Tony Romo, when it's Troy Aikman, whatever, they want to show you the all 22 because they want to prove exactly what happened on the play and they want to like detail everything.
Instead, it's like this guy just wants it more. He wants it more than the other team. Watch him grind.
It's going to be zoomed in, and you're not really going to see what happened on it. And that is kind of the mark of, let's call it like a 4th or 5th unit.
I thought it was more like, they want to create theater. And so the shot of someone chugging up the sideline is more efficient for them than showing how a guy broke wide open, like that touchdown play where you're just kind of like, just would like to see that a little bit better. Yeah. But I forget how we got to that.
I forgot to. The Kayshon Boutte catch, which was fantastic. But let's talk a little bit also about the fact that the Patriots proved 2 things in this game.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was that the Patriots proved that they can run the ball against the NFL's best run defense.
Right up the gut, right in their face.
Not insignificant. Trevion Henderson had the best game of his NFL career, despite the fumble at the end. That really kind of put a little bit of a damper on things, but still 10 carries, 75 yards, showed the speed and explosion that we all were promised during the preseason, during training camp, and during his college career. But Drake Maye ran the ball well. Charles Jennings ran the ball well at the end. Overall, 2nd straight game with 175 or more rushing yards. And this one, as I mentioned, was against the defense that entered this game as the NFL's top rush defense. Quite an accomplishment. And I don't know what the run game looks like moving forward, but they've done it 2 weeks in a row, once against a bad team, once against a good team, or good defense, bad defense.
Yeah, I think I had it. It was Henderson's 3rd touch because his 2nd run was the 18-yarder up the right side where he just burst.
First was 12.
First was 12. The second was 18, and it was just like he's flying. He is flying. But I think it was his 3rd one, which was the 20. No, that's a kick return. He had a 3rd one. No, what it was. It was like it was the 27-yarder.
Yeah.
And officially there, I was like, this is officially a Trevion Henderson game, which everyone has been waiting for. And it got better from there. He kept going. So I think you finally saw them tap into some speed. You want to know a weird take?
Sure.
I thought his best run of the day, I think it went for 1 yard in the 4th quarter. And it was kind of a slow developing play out to the right. And he had his blockers kind of setting up. And in that moment, if he's uncomfortable or trying to do too much, he's going to run into a wall and lose a couple yards. But he just kind of patiently waited it out and like found a little a little lane to slip through and make it a positive run. And I just felt like we haven't seen him look comfortable like that or in the flow of a game to just make a normal play like that. And I think it was indicative of where he was at in that game, because he was, I don't want to overdo it, but he was what you would hope you'd get out of him this year in that game.
Yeah, no, 100%. And my other takeaway that's very much related to that is that if the Browns defense came into this game with a title belt that said #1 run defense in the NFL, I think there should have been a ceremony at midfield where they handed that belt to Milton Williams and the Patriots, because I can't really imagine a better run defense than what the Patriots showed today. First of all, I mean, they were showing zero respect whatsoever for Dylan Gabriel, which was the right approach, because the Browns offense is about as boring and predictable as one can possibly imagine out of an offense. Can't believe how predictable and risk averse they were, but still the Patriots were able to absolutely swallow up Quinshon Judkins on every single carry that he had. He left the game, but still large enough sample size, 10 carries, 19 yards. He could do absolutely nothing against the Patriots defense. And it wasn't like one guy who was just constantly making plays. That defense was swarming towards Quinshon Judkins, to the point where he had absolutely nowhere to go whatsoever. He couldn't even gain yards after contact, because if there was one guy in front of him, there was 4 guys in front of him.
Don't forget his 3 catches for -2 yards.
Because
he was clearly the key.
Yeah.
And they clearly succeeded in that endeavor.
They did. And like, obviously we just got a comment, Browns offense is really bad. Yes, they are. But Quinshon Judkins had been very good this season.
Right.
Despite how horrible the Browns offense has been. And man, I couldn't believe what they were doing, because they really wanted to lean into the run. The Patriots came out with 8 guys in their front 7. They had 3 defensive backs on the field. They said right off the bat, you're not going to beat us with Quinshon Judkins. Dylan Gabriel, you have to do something to win this game. He did to start off. Once again, slow start by the defense. But after that, they could not get anything going whatsoever.
I'm not super sympathetic to Shadur Sanders in that whole thing, but now I kind of get it. I kind of get it now. Like, that guy stinks. I'm sorry. Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, I mean, they clearly don't trust him to do anything downfield. They got in a little bit of a bag of tricks early, had some
I question his spatial awareness, Dylan Gabriel. Like, he had the sort of flick pass where he just flicked it into someone who was right in front of him, and he had another pass where he hit Milton Williams like in the nipple. Like, it's not like Milton Williams reached up to bat it down. It's like, oh, this is what you do, and then like hit him below the neck, and it was like, that's like your recognition of objects seems to be a little bit off here, Dylan Gabriel. So certainly not the toughest test for the defense, but the opening drive and again, not an on-time start, which is crazy. The way that opening drive went, you're kind of like, really? And even the whole first half, I mean,
9-7 lead. Yeah.
In totality, the first half was a rough start, but that gets me into sort of my lead takeaway.
Yeah.
Which is, when this stretch against the bad team started after the Bills game, or maybe even before that, we sort of said, we're not going to know week to week if they'll win these games, against bad teams. And now you have, even in this game that wasn't really decided at halftime, turning into sort of a laugher by the middle of the third quarter. Yeah. So that is sort of where they're at, where you're not doubting it and they're really running away. Like, they're not eking these out. They're not squeezing by. They are really proving that they have elevated themselves to a different level.
They really have. Yeah, because you would expect, obviously there's still time, whatever, who knows what happens next week, but like, you would have expected them to lose one of these games during this stretch. And they haven't really come close. This one, it really felt like in that first half, like, okay, this is when things are really not going well for the Patriots. Everything bad that could happen is happening, like the interception with Drake Maye. And then for them to be able to rebound the way they did and just work off I guess I wouldn't say all 3 units, because we'll get into it because the special teams was bad, but the offense and defense were really working in tandem in this one, where offense was able to make big plays, and then when the defense was able to generate turnovers, the offense was able to respond right away with scores, and the game got out of hand just like really fast.
Yeah, in a blink,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
actually, I have a criticism of Mike Vrabel for just not having his finger on the pulse of the team.
Mm-hmm.
When Spillane got that pick and ran it back like 25 yards to like the 5, did you were there, so you probably weren't. The network showed Spillane on the sideline, just like as fired up as a man could be. It's like he should get a carry right now. He should be in at running back and get like an off
That
tackle
would have
run.
been sick.
Like he would have gotten the touchdown, I'm pretty sure. So bad job by Vrabel there to not have his finger on the pulse. But
Yeah.
as for where it is, like big picture, like did you check out the Falcons today?
I did. Not
Tough
a great
one.
performance. Obviously, Kirk Cousins started. I think Penix will be back next week, but yeah.
Still, it's not like Kirk Cousins is
Right.
dog food. So
Right.
you got that. We've got some breaking sports news tonight while we're on.
First of all, I don't want to not say this. Do you have the Packers-Steelers game on right now?
It's on, but why?
The
The
Steelers
jerseys?
uniforms look like they're Legos.
Yeah, they're
You
really
know how
bad.
like when you have a Lego, they have like just like a weird like pattern on the front of their shirt,
Yeah.
and then the back's just like blank.
Yeah. These don't work. I'm just gonna
No,
say they
because
don't work
it also
with the
doesn't
helmet.
extend to the back, so it's only that weird Lego pattern on the front, and then just normal numbers on the back. Like, why would they do this?
I don't know. This is an abomination.
I'm assuming that they made a mock-up of these first, right?
Even people that don't really care about jerseys will care about these because they are gross.
This is
But
what you will constantly be shown for the rest of time. Oh God, they're also wearing like tan pants.
oh, I didn't even notice the pant. I didn't get that far. But just it doesn't go with the helmet. But the breaking sports news, it looks like Brian Kelly's getting
Yes.
fired from LSU, which is significant. Do you know why?
Why?
They're paying him $54 million to go away. That is the dream. That is the dream right there. Someday we'll all
It's
have a job where you get $54 million and you get fired.
crazy. Yeah.
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 Anyways, New England Patriots. Yeah, so you get the Falcons next week, and it's kind of like when they beat the Bills, you were kind of thinking, all right, maybe that game's tougher than it looks. Maybe not.
Yeah. No, maybe not. I mean, that is the Falcons did also get shut out by the Panthers 30-0, and Panthers have been a little bit more competitive than people thought they would be after that game or after the Patriots beat them, but still, yeah, it's they could very easily be 7-2 after next week.
Do you know who else? Do you know who else you could say today was a him game?
Who?
It was a Mac Hollins game. I thought
It
he
really
was
yeah.
as active as we've seen him with the Patriots. It just looked like he could do whatever he wanted against that defense. And Drake Maye kept recognizing it. What did he have? 7 catches, something to that effect? Like I said,
7 for like 90, I think, something like that. It was like the quiet 89 yards. It was like the quietest 89 yards ever, but great
Yeah.
game by him.
that one and the play that got a lot of run on Twitter was Kayshon Boutte with the triple move on Denzel Ward on that like fake. He faked like he was going deep and then hit him with the comeback, and Denzel Ward went tumbling over. That was something else. So really, just like I don't know, we'll do booms and dooms later, but I think we should state like the booms far outweighed the dooms today. It was a pretty impressive all around showing.
Yeah, the dooms were more like vague. This unit struggled. This unit struggled. Like it was pretty hard to find individual dooms in this game. My buddy Mike Ford did point one out on Twitter that we'll get to, that I think that we do agree on. But did you want to talk about Christian Barmore a little bit before we end booms and dooms?
Yeah, really strange quote from Mike Vrabel. The way he phrased why Christian Barmore didn't play in the first quarter was striking to me. Where he said, "What my job is to protect the team."
I'm trying to pull it up now because I want to give the direct quote. I guess I could have just gone to my email, couldn't I? That would have been better.
This is how dedicated we are to accuracy.
Second to last question. Sophie asked it right before I could. I had to make a decision. My job is to protect the team. So when there's actions that I don't feel are, I think he said commensurate with what we want to do here, I've got to make a decision and we move on. The transcript says commiserate, but I think it was commensurate. Yeah. Obviously discipline. This is one of those times where it's such an interesting and strange quote that you'd almost be better just if it's something minor, just saying exactly what it was,
right,
rather than dancing around it this way.
Right. It was like sort of dark. I must protect the football team from
Right.
this egregious. Yeah, it's a lot. And it's, I mean, it's a pretty significant punishment to sit out a quarter.
Yeah, he was
So,
before. Yeah, we haven't even mentioned that yet. He was benched for an entire quarter.
or you
Or
either say
sidelined.
what it is, or you say we're going to keep it in house.
That's what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting the answer that he gave.
Yeah.
So I did. It sort of felt like by the answer that he gave, that he wanted to answer something about, that he wanted to be asked about it.
Mm,
You know, I guess it's also, you don't do that unless you want people to notice that it's happened.
right. It's kind of like a public shaming.
Right. Because otherwise, I mean, you could probably like fine him or do something. But when you don't start one of your best players, and then when he doesn't take the field until the second quarter has begun, it's pretty obvious that he's been benched. I personally haven't been able to get any answers on what he did, despite trying to figure that out. We'll see if it does come out. But yeah, I mean, I think it's another thing that puts a little bit of a damper, I would say, on this game, because one of the big things that we've talked about for the first 8 weeks of the season is the buy-in of all of the players. All the players talk about how well the team is getting along. The offense and defense are getting along. Milton Williams and Christian Gonzalez today were talking about how well everyone gets along. But then when one of your top paid players is disciplined and sidelined for the first quarter, then you start to say, like, all right, almost everyone is buying in. Someone
Yeah.
clearly isn't right now.
Yeah. And
To the full degree.
it just leads to people filling in the blanks,
Right.
which I don't want to say it's like unfair, but what if it was, something seemingly minor, like missing curfew or something, or what if it was something else? And it just, people's minds can wander to whatever they want to figure out what it is, and not knowing what it is, it's just going to lead to a sort of cloud over that situation until it gets resolved.
No, exactly. So we'll figure it out, and we'll see. We'll see what comes out. We'll see if anything comes out. Barmore played well. He didn't speak to the media after the game. Wouldn't say they seemed like overly happy in the locker room after the game. So I don't know. We'll see how it all goes. We will get into booms and dooms in a second, but I did want to gloat off the top
Oh yeah,
because I did win one of my prize picks lineups. Not going to lie.
pretty good. I know one had Drake Maye rushing yards, so
So the one that I won was Drake Maye, more than 1.5 passing touchdowns, Drake Maye, more than 24.5 rush yards, and Quinshon Judkins, less than 72.5 rush yards. So kind of aced that one, not going to lie. And it was fun to win that. So you can download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. I'll
Hey,
tell you a little bit later about
hey,
one that I didn't win, and
I'm
and
proud.
I will reverse gloat about that one.
I just want to say I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Did we want to get into booms or in dooms, or did you have any other notes or takeaways before that?
It's really hard for me to answer that question with all of my notes being on pieces of paper over, like, not on a document on my screen. But I don't know. We should mention, because we did mention the other day. Oh, I gotta shut this light off. It's distracting. We mentioned the other day how important Diggs has been to the offense. He did get in the end zone today, and it
He
felt like
did, yes.
it felt like the whole team celebrated that one, not
Yeah,
just with the Quentin McCringleberry celebration, but
yeah. So
overall.
what? I feel like an old. So it was just a single pump that they did, right?
Yeah, so it was an old Key and Peele sketch,
Yeah.
and you were allowed one
One
thrust,
pump. Yes,
one pelvic
yes, one
thrust,
thrust.
and if you do more than one, he's going to throw the flag. Like,
Yes.
that was the limit, and so they did one, which I think he'll probably still get fined for, which would be a pretty funny thing.
I don't know. I don't know if you can.
I'm not sure.
Just
We'll
for
find
just
out.
for the bid alone, you shouldn't be allowed to fine them for that.
Yeah, and then I just think the play of the game, athletically speaking, not the play of the game in terms of importance or anything.
Mm-hmm.
The Jalen Hawkins interception
Oh
was
yeah.
unbelievable. Like, a one-hander 80 yards down the field while falling over with a man on him was incredible.
It really was. Fantastic. Christian Gonzalez roasted him after the game to be like, he didn't need to run to the opposite end zone to celebrate
He
that,
was
which is
fired
fair.
up.
He wanted to get some steps in.
I was thinking about Christian Gonzalez today. Like, do you think it's boring being a number one cornerback where they
Sometimes
just
probably.
barely ever test you?
He had a great game, I thought.
He broke
had a
up the fourth
vintage
down
Christian
pass.
Gonzalez game.
Yeah, they broke up the fourth down pass to Judy. I just
He had
feel like
3 total forced incompletions.
okay. It just feels generally like, oh, here I go again. They're not going to throw at me again.
Right.
Woohoo. I'm good at covering people.
I don't know if he allowed a single catch.
So there was a pass to a running back in the flat where he
okay.
came up, and I'm sure they'll like officially, but it's not like he was covering him. You know what I mean?
It did make me laugh that the touchdown, the first touchdown to Fannin,
Yeah.
clearly someone bid on play action, or maybe Craig Woodson wasn't supposed to cover the other tight end. Like some breakdown happened there, but PFF in their in-game charting blamed Carlton Davis for it because he was probably just like literally the closest person. It's like he was covering someone else. He was doing what he was supposed to be doing.
I'll
You're
tell you what
just guessing at that point, really, than blaming it on someone who it's clearly not him.
I would love to tell you more about that play, but I was watching Fox and I just saw like the close up of Fannin's face as he ran, so I'm not really sure.
It's fair. Jerry Jeudy, by the way, 2 targets, 0 catches, 0 yards.
Yeah.
Christian Gonzalez did his job. And I think we were talking last week about how the tight ends could go off. Fannin and Njoku combined for 99 yards and 2 touchdowns on 10 catches. Patriots, like the one glaring issue they still need to fix probably is coverage of tight ends. And I don't know if it's going to get fixed. And if that's your biggest issue, then it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I'm also not too tied up about Njoku's touchdown at that point of the game.
No, garbage time for sure.
It was, if it wasn't garbage time, it was close.
Were you the one who said that Njoku looked large this season?
He's a big boy. He's a big boy. He's getting
bigger.
Happened? He's getting. He used to be like ripped. I mean, he would always have his shirt off, so he would let you know he is a big boy.
I mean, I'm not trying to criticize him. He's obviously still an effective player, but
yeah,
when he was out there, I was like, wow, he's big.
He's a big boy. He's a big boy. But whatever works for you, works for you.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he saw what's the Steelers tight end, Washington. He was like, hey, maybe I could have a second career as a tackle once this tight end thing's done.
I guess so. A little dual action. Do you want the top PFF grades on offense? You had Drake Maye at 77.1, followed by Mac Hollins at 74.9. So this is an interesting one. We should talk about this before we get into the booms and dooms. Their 4th highest Patriots grade of the day. Mm-hmm. So 1 was May, 2 was Hollins, 3 was Pop Douglas, 4 tackle Will Campbell.
Yeah. Let's get into the dooms.
Is he going to be like a darling the way Mike Onwenu was, where it was like can do no wrong in the eyes of PFF?
It's certainly possible. So let's do some booms first, because I do. Spoiler alert: the offensive line is in the dooms, not Will Campbell specifically, but the offensive line. So I have 7 potential booms. I don't know if all of them need to be talked about at length, but Drake Maye, I would say, is a pretty obvious boom. Would not have been in the first half necessarily. I think he was like 6 for 10, 160 with the interception, but had 3 touchdowns in the second half. I think he had like a perfect third quarter. He had we're used to seeing great Drake Maye in the first half. We saw great Drake Maye in the second half here, which I do think is important. That as much as it was, I mean, they didn't have much to come back from in this game, but they came back and won.
Yeah, I felt like the red zone play calling in the first half was odd. It seemed to be overly complicated. They seemed to mess because they were moving the ball and then they would mess it up. And then it also seemed like they were intent on establishing the run, which could have been seen as questionable, but it does seem like, the classic, like they ran to pass and it eventually paid off.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that some of the red zone struggles as well were what we were talking about earlier, where the Browns defense is just really good. And the more condensed a field is, the better they're going to look. So it wasn't obviously not ideal to have those red zone issues, but the Patriots were still able to score. They were able to still score in the red zone. But it is something that they could probably they probably look for things to fix after these games, and that's one where they can say like, okay, that's still an issue. We need to work on that.
Not to live fact check you, Doug. Not to live fact check you.
Uh-oh.
Because I only know this because it was put on the screen during the game. Browns entered this game 29th in red zone defense.
Oh, interesting.
So not sure what to make of that.
So good otherwise, but not in the red zone?
Good in all colors other than red. But they were good in those first two
they were.
drives. So whatever you
I apologize profusely. I need to do better.
You know, it's just the credibility is lacking now that you didn't know the Browns were 29th in red zone defense.
Who's the goose? I am.
Yeah. Yeah, but I would not disagree with you on May. Another, I don't know, you want to run through the obvious ones? Travion Henderson.
We already talked about Travion Henderson, yeah.
Matt Collins is a boom.
He is a boom.
Like Booty's probably a boom.
I've got Booty on the list. I've got Spillane. Robert
Spillane's a boom. What do you have? 14 tackles?
14 touchdowns in this. He would have if they had allowed him to run the ball.
That's true.
After his interception. He had 14 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, and an interception. He had a missed tackle at one point. He was the one who was trying to get the pass breakup rather than the tackle, right?
I don't believe so. That was in the end zone, wasn't it?
I don't know. He
missed a tackle that led to like 15 extra yards.
Right.
Against it was Jamari Thrash.
Right.
It would have been like a 10-yard game, but instead it was 25.
But otherwise, he's been great almost all season. He had a slow start, but he's been fantastic for like 6 straight weeks now.
Yeah, he's really good. He's and the pick was sort of, people earn those things when they look like they're gifts. You kind of earn them sometimes. I think that's my theory anyway. Yeah,
it is true. But Robert Spillane had a good game. You mentioned it earlier, but Jalen Hawkins for the interception. When the interception is that difficult, I think you need to get a boom for it.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, he had the #1 defensive grade in this game from PFF.
Another boom in the secondary. I mean, Christian Gonzalez could probably use a boom too, I'd say. But Marcus Jones had a really hot start to the game.
Yeah, he missed a tackle before that too, which led to like 25 extra yards. But then the next series, he takes the field and Judkins caught like a little swing pass out in the left flat. And Jones popped him for a loss of 2, and he was just engaged after. I think it was after the Saints game, or maybe it was the Panthers game. I forget. It's just he's so active and competitive. Like he doesn't miss a rep. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
Like his size is always going to be his size, and there's nothing you can do about that. But like his effort level is like always extreme, so it stands out.
6 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 2 pass breakups for Marcus Jones. Christian Gonzalez, the aforementioned, he had a tackle for a loss and 2 pass breakups as well. Kyrus Tonga had a tackle for a loss. Anthony Jennings had a sack. Solid overall performance from nearly everyone.
You got 2 pass breakups from your big boys in Milton Williams and Farmer.
Joshua Farmer, yeah.
Farmer was the one that got the flick thrown at him, where he was probably like, "What are you doing? Like, why did you do that,
sir? You have a problem?" God, like Dylan Gabriel, I think that, not to harp on this, but Dylan Gabriel really is why NFL teams will only draft quarterbacks who have traits, and like, I know that sounds obvious, but you need a big arm. You need to be able to move. You can't have a quarterback that you have to play conservatively with, because the rest of your team just has to be so good. And I feel like if the Browns had a quarterback who was kind of a weapon, they could be okay. They've got some bad wide receivers, but their run game could be good. Their defense is good. The quarterback situation is just limiting them so badly.
Are you saying that playing 64 collegiate games is not a trait?
It's a trait. It's
playing 6 seasons in college is not a trait. Are you trying to say that?
He kind of toured the country with his college stops. He got to play in Florida.
He took like a diagonal path right from Florida up to Oregon.
Got to play in Oregon. He played for Oklahoma too, right?
Yeah, that maybe not fully diagonal. Yeah. Maybe a little more like,
He's
right in the
from
latitude.
Hawaii. Like the man has seen the whole country.
Yeah. Well, he got to see New England in the fall and maybe didn't appreciate it. He didn't get to fully take it in. I will say Fox did a good job of showing some fans at like the back of maybe the 200s. I couldn't tell. And there was the trees with the foliage behind them.
Nice.
It was a nice shot.
There are some good views over next to Gillette Stadium. Like, say what you will about the stadium being in Foxborough, but basically, like directly behind the field is a sea of foliage this time of year.
Good shot. Good job by the Fox crew there.
Which is nice to see. We should get some dooms because we've been very, 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 very positive.
Yeah. We'll start with the O-line because that was Myles Garrett being Myles Garrett is one thing.
Yeah.
But it was a bit much.
So I think I wrote this in multiple places. Like, yes, you can excuse it for being, okay, well, Myles Garrett is fantastic. He's one of the best players in the NFL. He's Listen, not everyone gives up 5 sacks to Myles Garrett. Like, Myles Garrett has never had 5 sacks in a game.
Most teams don't.
It's a little excessive. Like, if he had 5 sacks in every game, then how many? That would be hundreds and thousands of sacks in his career, and he doesn't have that many.
He has in his career one game of more than 4 sacks when he had 4.5. He had 3.5 once, so he's had more than 3 twice before today. So yeah, obviously a bit much.
Will Campbell, I know, was charged with at least 2 of them. Other sacks given up. I think Jared Wilson had 1 given up. Hunter Henry had 1 given up. It's something that obviously needs to be worked on. Will Campbell had been good this season. I did notice that they still give him a good PFF grade, so I'm curious to watch him on a snap-to-snap basis. It did feel like he was having a little bit more trouble when they were trying to chip Myles Garrett with Hunter Henry, which...
It like almost gave Garrett a head start, and Campbell's sort of backpedaling and is playing defense at that point, which probably doesn't play to his strengths.
Yeah. So they may need to fix that in the future and just be like, all right, if you're going up against a guy, go up against him alone and we'll figure this out. And if we need to chip as the game goes along, then maybe we'll try that. But
I forget. I think it was Schlereth, or maybe it was someone at halftime. I really can't recall, so I'm sorry. But someone on the TV said, Will Campbell has never seen anything like Myles Garrett. And it's like, that is true. Like, this is... if he didn't have a welcome to the NFL moment before today, that would certainly register as it.
It definitely would. While we're on this, Myles Garrett on Drake Maye.
Yeah, this was a weird quote.
I think he is a great human being. I think he's a good quarterback who is soon to be a great quarterback. I like how he's grown. It's nice to be a part of his journey. Hate to be on this end of it, but it's nice to see how he's leading his team. He's helped them rebuild into what they are now. In a way, I'm proud of him, and I'm happy to see his success.
Are they like best friends?
Maybe I don't want to speak out of turn. Like, I don't know if they share an agency. I don't know what it is, but it was very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you notice? Again, you were there. Different take. They showed Myles Garrett with about 3 minutes left, fuming on the sideline, throwing his helmet, screaming about something. Did he want to go in for a 6th sack?
Maybe.
Did he want to be on the field?
What is the record still? Derek Thomas against the Seahawks for 7? Were they talking about that?
Stats are for losers. I'm not sure, but it's like they needed 1 first down and then they could kneel out the ball. It's like, I don't think you need to be in there.
He did say he would have traded all the sacks away for a win.
I don't believe that necessarily. Really? 5 sacks is a lot to trade away. I don't know the currency value, but I would trade 3.
In this state of the Browns, I think you take the stats over the win because a win at this point in the season really isn't going to get you very much still. Yeah. So, yeah.
Plus, I'm not the only one with this opinion, but it's like, dude, you signed there. You had been there.
Right. You
knew there. And you said, yeah, whatever, I'll stay here. So it is what it is. You get what you pay for or get what you get paid for, whatever you want to say.
I would add special teams overall. We'll get into...
Hold on. One quick note on the offensive line. Sneaky boom, though. Sneaky boom. Jared Wilson jumping on the loose ball after Drake Maye got stripped. Pretty big play. Yeah.
Drake Maye did fumble. There was a strip sack from Myles Garrett.
Yeah, it sure was.
What didn't he do out there?
Didn't get a pick.
It's true. Carson Schweschinger did get a pick.
Sure. Sure did.
Um, special teams. Actually, let's do Bryce Baringer first.
What a disappointment. You like I live to watch that man punt out of his own end zone, 73 yards. He kicked it 15 yards, Doug.
It
He kicked a
was
15-yard punt.
Listen, the Patriots won the game. They were up by a lot at the time. It was almost comical how far they had to move the ball back because it was like they got basically nothing out of that punt.
Yeah.
You might as well have gone for it at that point.
Right. They kicked from what? The
It went
7?
from like the 15 to the 30, basically.
Yeah, that was such a disappointment because we know, they were on the 11
Yeah.
and they kicked to the 26. It's always funny though when you see like the side judge or whatever walking it back and they're doing this imaginary triangulation in their head where they're going to a spot and they just keep walking
Yeah.
and they just keep walking and you're like,
Yeah.
oh dear. So yeah, that was bad. Yeah, I wouldn't pin all that on the special teams. But that was...
He also had a touchback on a 61-yard punt, which I'm sure that you liked how long the punt went for.
61's tough. It's borderline, you can't really pin it. I don't fault a 61-yarder under.
It goes in the end zone. Like, just kick it 50 yards. I know that's easier said than done, but he hit it 61 yards in the air.
I'm okay with a boomer that goes in the end zone. If you're 50, that's not great. But 61, I'm gonna forgive it.
I don't know. I didn't love that one either. You gotta. I think like. Do you think Bill Belichick would have been happy with that?
I'm not sure.
I don't
The
think he
college
would have
coach?
been. The podcaster?
Yeah.
Did you listen to the Michael Lombardi podcast?
I listened to some of it. And I was like, this just feels mean.
I like I don't have a strong opinion one way or the other about Michael Lombardi, and I think it's certainly notable to say that he didn't deserve the third ring
or even the first one.
Well, so I want to get into that. Like the third one when he gets fired or whatever in June, it's that one clearly like he should not have a ring for that.
Yeah.
The one with the 49ers, like he was on the staff.
But he inflated his roles and basically inflated his resume. So
do you think a scouting assistant on the Patriots doesn't get a Super Bowl ring? Of course he does.
Yeah, but
if you're on the staff, you get a ring. I don't know.
Was more like Bill Walsh would whisper to me for
that
tidbits.
He doesn't need to do.
It's like dude, I don't think that happened.
But getting information and listen, I love the work that Pablo Torre does, and I think it's fantastic. Like I don't know if there's concrete proof or not that he got an actual ring or not. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. He was on the staff.
It felt kind of mean-spirited, the whole.
It did make me think, like, do we really need a whole hour on Michael Lombardi? But
I guess if you frame it, though, in the sense that the public pays his $1.5 million salary for the coach that makes $10 million, then there 100%. Is, it's not like he's working for a private company like the Patriots. That would be their problem. Yeah. But I guess when you factor in the taxpayer money, it is actually relevant.
Yeah.
But still, just the vibe was just like, I was like, I don't know or like or dislike Michael Lombardi really. Right. But I was like, this just feels kind of mean.
It was a lot.
Put some music on.
The special teams in general, they had 3 penalties. They had the Brandon Schooler face mask,
which was bogus.
Marte Mapu illegal formation. They had the Richie Grant hold. And they didn't recover an onside kick, which who knew that you could onside kick after a safety?
What
I do now
has happened to the great game that I love, where you can just line up for an onside after a safety. I feel like in the old days, before kickoff rules went crazy, you had to do the free kick from the 25, right? But you could onside it, but you had to drop kick it, I believe.
So, yeah, I personally, this is a new rule. Alex Barth was telling me about it. Shout out to Alex Barth for having to tell me this, but it was part of the new kickoff rules where now you kick that off, it can be onside. But in my head in that moment, I had never seen it before. In my mind also flashed to playing Madden Because I was like, after I got a safety, I never had the option of doing an onside kick at that point.
Right. Yeah, no, it's antithetical to the punishment of taking a safety.
It is, and it was actually making me wonder, is there a world where if you're backed up there, would it make sense to just like eat a safety and then onside kick it? It doesn't.
Probably not, because the onside percentage is like 8%.
Right.
But yeah, and I know like Hooper is going to want that one back for going for like a block instead of the ball.
Right.
But at 32 to 7, or was it 14?
For sure.
32-14?
13.
You're not as eager to give up your body.
Right. Yeah.
To get smoked.
But overall, I would not say this was a banner day for the special teams.
Except the rookie kicker.
True. Andy Borgels did well.
Good day for the rookie kicker.
He's the only one who scored in the first half.
Yeah. No, he's been really good. And I like to point that out because I pointed it out when he was not really good. And I'm fair. I'm a fair guy.
Definitely.
You got more dooms?
I don't think I had any other dooms. Did you have any other dooms?
I had to check my papers here. The false starts, and when you had one on a 3rd and 1.
That was bad.
That wasn't good. Hunter Henry had one, which was just sort of uncharacteristic. So they did have a lot of penalties. That Schooler one was bogus, though. Did you catch the replay?
I didn't. I wish I did because I saw something about it.
He had him he touched the side of his helmet and was getting stiff-armed in the face. And the ref was just like, yeah, we'll call it face mask. And it wasn't. Yeah. But, I have a doom on not only the great sport of football has 2 dooms. One is what we just talked about. You can onside after a safety.
Yeah.
2, kneel down shouldn't count as rushing attempts. They're not rushing attempts.
I agree.
They are not a rushing attempt. And I know you might say like, well, who cares? Like if you're going to keep stats and data, it might as well be accurate. And it's like in college, sacks are rushing attempts. Stupid. That's why quarterbacks have like negative 300 rushing yards in his career. Just if the quarterback takes it and drops to a knee, doesn't count as a rushing attempt. I don't know. Figure it out. I think that's totally fair. I do want to talk about real quick a lineup in Prize Picks that did not generate me money because I want to brag, but now I want to take my L. I had Dylan Gabriel for more than half an interception. That was a winner. But I had Mac Hollins for more than 0.5 rushing receiving touchdowns. Fantastic game for Mac Hollins. Didn't get that. I had Stephon Diggs for more than 4.5 receptions. Only had 3. Didn't get that. If I had only reversed those, if I had Mac Hollins for more than 4.5 receptions, had I had Stephon Diggs for more than 0.5 touchdowns, I would have won. But I'm a dumbass. And I played the numbers. You played the numbers. Hollins has been the touchdown guy. Diggs has been the catch guy.
I know.
They flipped it on you.
Well, next week, you can win money on Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. All right.
I had another note that I found while you did that.
These written notes, you can just find little gems.
I don't think I've taken notes in a notepad in like 10 plus years.
When you sent the picture on Twitter, I was like, is this guy always a notepad guy?
No, I'm always a Google Doc. I'm a Google Doc guy.
You know who's a notepad guy? Andrew Callahan's a notepad guy.
He's got the ink stained hands, that guy loves newspapers. We're from a certain generation where you did come up using notepads. But it's just much easier if you're writing after to have it already on the computer.
Yeah. So there's this thing called typing that's way easier than writing.
Dude, writing takes forever.
It does.
Oh my God. I'm like, the next play is starting and then my handwriting is bad to begin with.
Yeah.
And then if you have a note that you can't even read yourself, what's the point? But here's a note. Double pass was bananas. May almost died.
That was bananas. That was a long developing play.
Yeah, and it was Stevenson that threw it back, right?
Yeah.
Who, by the way, they used him as a running back. They used him as a quarterback there and as a downfield threat. That catch he had out of bounds was like pretty sick.
How shocking was that when May didn't hit on that throw and when he didn't hit on, you mentioned it before, the couple throws to Keishon Boutte, he's like, whoa. We're
Yeah.
seeing him show, I don't know, not
Damn,
what
he threw that one
showing you
six.
he was human.
He threw that one 6 inches out of bounds. Is he
Right.
okay?
Yeah, what's wrong with him?
But yeah, that play, I guess he did a good job bailing out Drake Maye on the double pass of just kind of throwing it and ducking and rolling because
Yeah.
it looked like he was going to get wrecked. It's a lot of work for like a 15-yard pass.
It was Josh McDaniels was in his bag of tricks. I think that overall he had a well called game.
Yeah.
I want to say it because I think we've been a little bit hard on this, maybe even dating back to training camp. Jack Westover had some good lead blocks in this game, actually. Yeah.
I didn't catch that. I missed that.
Yeah.
That's why
I'll just throw it in there.
I defer to your expertise on that one. Good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Look better on some of those runs.
I think we covered most of my notes, Doug.
I think we covered most of mine too.
Christian Gonzalez
game.
Christian Gonzalez also had a really nice close on Jerome Ford. Did you see that one?
Yeah. Yep.
Where it was like, oh, there's a short little completion. It was like, oh, that was an elite close.
I think to kind of cap this all off, like what does this win? What does this 5-game winning streak, the 6-2 start, what does it mean overall for the Patriots this season? I think I'm confidently in the place where I'm calling the Patriots one of the best teams in the AFC and Drake Maye a legitimate MVP candidate. We've seen enough. I know I'm probably late on this overall, but when you're able to, Maye was already an MVP candidate, but he's firmly playing like a top 3-5 quarterback, whatever you want to call it in the NFL.
He's like third in odds, right?
Yeah, he's third in
MVP.
odds. I still don't think he's going to win it because they don't have enough primetime games. I think like the writers who vote on that just aren't going to get to watch him enough.
They're watching the Steelers in these ridiculous outfits tonight, not the Patriots-Browns game.
Outfits. But like they're just going to see more of Patrick Mahomes. They're going to see more of Josh Allen. He's going to wind up playing 3 games that people are watching this season. The Thursday night game, the Sunday night game he played against the Bills, and then Monday night game against the Giants. And what the Thursday night game is against the Jets.
Those could be 3 really good games for him, though.
I know, but like, is anyone actually even going to watch those games against the Jets and the Giants?
People will watch. We are. I was watching the 4 p.m. window.
And I watch every game, but yeah,
I'm watching the 4 p.m. window. And I'm like, good Lord. You had
3 games in the 4 p.m. window. A little light.
Yeah. Saints, Bucks, Titans, Colts, and Broncos, Cowboys.
Not a lot to watch there.
Is the NFL cooked?
But like, I don't think there's a obvious team in the AFC, barring your like Bills and Chiefs, that you think is considerably better than the Patriots at this point. Like the Colts are 7-1, but I feel like with Daniel Jones at quarterback, you've got to have more questions about the legitimacy of that than you do about Drake Maye's Patriots, right?
Sort of. I mean, the Colts every week you're waiting for something bad to happen, and they keep getting better. So at a certain point, you have to respect it. I'm not quite there yet.
There is a pumpkin, to use a seasonal term, that Daniel Jones could still turn into.
Yeah.
I don't think that Drake Maye has a pumpkin he can turn into.
True. That's a good point. I would put it as if you had a Patriots-Colts matchup, like it's a fair fight.
It is. 100%.
I'm not saying the Patriots are better than them, but I'd give them plenty of chances to win that game. The Bengals lost to the Jets today, so I don't think that helps the Bengals case. In that the Steelers could be 4-3 by the end of the night. We'll see. Those jerseys are going to be certainly a detriment to winning. And I don't know. I still think it's the Chiefs and the Bills. I just think we saw it here enough when a team knows it's going to be built for a playoff run that they can turn it on in December and start playing like it's the playoffs then. And, the seasons get long when you're the Chiefs and you go to the Super Bowl every year. So I still have those 2 teams as the top, even though the Patriots did beat the Bills. But the fact that
I'm not saying they are the top, but I think they both 100% are in the conversation now.
Yeah.
You don't mistakenly start off 6-2.
Yeah. I'm just saying the way that you can have this conversation is kind of tells the story. And
yeah,
you look ahead, I mean, that Falcons game should be a win. You should beat the Falcons next week. You should be 7-2. I don't know. The Bucks game is still going to be tough to win, right?
It is. Yeah.
But then you get the Jets, then you get the Bengals, then you get the Giants. Like there's realistically, you're looking at 10-3.
Yeah, it
before you're
is
by.
funny how
That's
when you looked at
crazy.
the schedule ahead of time and you were like, man, that's a win. That's a win. It's like how it's shaking out so far. And no one expected the Bills to be a win. And you could have expected the Raiders or Steelers to be a win. So, but
Yeah.
still, even when you were putting all those W's next to the games, you're like, well, this isn't actually going to happen. They're going to lose some winnable games.
Yeah.
And for the past 5 games, obviously, 5 game winning streak, they have not been doing that. And I really have no reason to believe with the Falcons coming into town on Sunday that they should lose that game
Right.
based on everything we've seen so far.
Outside of like, you know, the Pittsburgh game happening again where you fumble too much, you shoot yourself in the foot. Like there's no sort of logical, strategical way that you could put it on paper and be like, they will lose.
Yeah.
Outside of just it's sports and things happen, which is impressive because, like I said, I don't know. Let's try to think. After the Pittsburgh loss, we were like, they're going to beat Carolina, right?
Well,
They're not
yeah,
going to lose
that
to
was the point
Carolina,
when we're
right?
saying this could either turn into 1-7 or 6-2,
It was fork in the road.
and they took the right fork. They really
took
did.
the road less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Thank you. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
All right, I think we should get Michael Hurley off the screens.
Yeah. I had one. I know we don't do nonsense on Sundays, but I wanted to throw
I'm
this.
down for nonsense.
I wanted to throw this one. I meant to bring it up the other day. You know the band All Time Low?
Yeah.
I don't really know them that well. Somehow missed Dear Maria, Count Me In. Yeah. I don't know. That's apparently a seminal song in the pop punk world. It missed me until
that
like,
Maria song.
yeah. I don't. When did it come out? Like after our run?
So I knew I didn't really start like actually hearing that song until maybe let's call it like 5 to 10 years ago.
Yes.
It's a really catchy song.
Oh, it sure is. But it wasn't part of my lore, as they say. They played a show at Red Rocks recently.
Okay.
And the singer after a few songs was like, I can't sing. And so they sang Dear Maria, Count Me In. And they're like, so sorry, we got to go. So they played like 4 songs. And they were like, we're really sorry. And I don't think that people got a refund.
Wow.
Which brings up the question, don't those people deserve a refund?
At least half.
Right. Partial refund?
Yeah, because like let's say
You probably saw 2 bands.
right. Most people probably wanted to hear Dear Maria Count Me In the most. So they
Probably.
did get to hear the song they wanted to hear the most.
Sorta.
But yeah, no, I think that's fair.
Yeah. I
That's tough.
feel like it's an all or nothing thing for me.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like you gotta get sorry to the bands, but you didn't make money that night. You couldn't go.
Yeah, it's tough. Have you ever wanted to go to Red Rocks?
I think if I was in the area, I'm not going to travel for a
I
concert
know.
ever. I don't think.
Yeah.
Have you ever traveled for a concert?
When I was in college, we would like kind of regularly drive to Philadelphia to go to shows, which seems insane now because they weren't even like spectacular shows. They were cool.
Yeah.
We went for like a Paint It Black record release. We went for, I think, Floor Punch. So they were like cool shows, like hardcore shows.
That's a long
But
drive.
It's 6
like
hours.
6
is a
hours?
long drive. Yeah.
But when you're young, time is fake.
And I broke my nose at one of those. So then I had to drive 6 hours home with a broken nose. And we got home at like 6 in the morning, something crazy like that.
Yeah, being young is crazy. I was thinking today, when you're young and you can just like sit around and watch Homestar Runner videos for like 2 hours and then just go about your day and like you didn't miss anything, like that's the dream. But they played 4 songs and then played their last song.
That's wild. Yeah, that's too bad.
But people do travel to go to Red Rocks, so
Yeah,
I'm sure people
so
flew there,
that's-
got hotels.
When
That's
was
tough.
this?
This was about 3 weeks ago. That's how on top of the all-time low news I am. But
All right. Well,
yeah, I don't know. I think they should have got a full refund.
that's fair. Think we see any trades this week?
I don't know. It's so weird now, the coverage of trade deadline in the NFL, because it still isn't what it's sort of being hyped up to be.
I know.
There's going to be like,
because I feel like Adam Schefter did like a victory lap after a few of the early trades to be like, I told you there's gonna be a ton of trades, and then there's been basically none since.
It feels
So
like
maybe now they start piling up, but I don't know.
what are like the most impactful trade deadline trades? There's usually like one a year, maybe.
Right,
So are you going to be in that one? Maybe.
right.
It doesn't feel like, I don't know, when you have sort of an overachieving team, you have to be careful of upsetting the balance
Yeah,
and changing the dynamic too much.
that
And
is a
that's
factor. Yeah,
and that's where like a wide receiver I feel like is out of the question
I
because it's
know
a
because
delicate thing.
it feels like they're playing a very delicate balance with the wide receiver core right now. Anyway, where like Diggs got in the end zone, but he only had what 3 catches for 14 yards. Booty is like almost on pace for 1,000 yards right now. So a trade could kind of make or break that for him. I
And
don't
like
think Hollins is someone who's getting sensitive about targets, but like Douglas
Douglas,
is a young wide receiver. Kyle Williams already isn't getting anything. Efton Chisholm already isn't playing. So yeah, if you threw in like a Rashid Shaheed or a AJ Brown or whatever, then it does possibly upset that balance a little bit.
yeah, I still think, well, maybe not as much after today, but running back would still seemingly be a need.
Because they have a decision to make there where they either have to sign Terrell Jennings to the 53-man roster or start using their other practice squad running back, um, Jay Sean Corbin, or trade for someone or sign someone. So yeah,
Difficult balance. So yeah, I don't know. The deadline's the 3rd.
the third, yeah. So they've got another week and 2 days, whatever it is.
Yeah, I lean toward no, just because of that factor and then just the general nature of the NFL trade deadline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been fun.
Pat's chat.
I think we did our jobs here. You should rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast. You should rate, review, and subscribe to all the CLNS podcasts.
Plus, like, you never know, send it to your mom. Maybe your mom would like it because like my mom likes this podcast. So perhaps
burn it to a CD and mail it to your mom.
no, she's my mom's logged in like the rest of us. So
I think my mom listens too.
I think we need to tap into the mom market. We could be the podcast, the Patriots podcast for moms.
We've already tapped into our own moms market. We
They
need to
love it.
expand past the two moms.
Yeah.
All right. Murph just asked what our kids are being for Halloween. My daughter's being Wednesday Addams.
I got my money back from getting
good.
scammed for the Roomy costume, the K-pop Demon Hunters costume. So Penny has pivoted to being a vampire.
Okay.
Got a nice dress,
Nice.
makeup. And Olive is being, I should know how to pronounce this because it was like the biggest movie ever. Elphaba.
Oh yeah.
Is that right?
Yep. Nailed it.
They've watched Wicked so many times and I've left the room. Not for me. Happy for anyone that enjoys it. But yeah, that's what they're going as. I saw a great costume. I forget. I saw it on like Twitter, and it was like ruining a fad for kids everywhere. And it was parents just wearing a sweatshirt. One said 6 and one said 7, and they were just doing the hand motion. I was like, that's brilliant because the kids are going to stop doing it now.
Yeah.
So I want to do that. I think.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Do you know what my go-to move is on Halloween?
What?
Years ago when they were little, they had Toy Story costumes.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a Woody hoodie.
Mm.
It is a hoodie, and it looks like Woody's outfit, and I just throw that on. It's like, I'm Woody.
It's great.
It's gotten me through so many Halloweens.
I was forced to dress as Sirius Black last year. Livy's trying to get me to dress as a character from Wednesday, but I think it would just require me to wear normal clothes. So maybe I'll just do it.
You should just get a T-shirt and write Tuesday on it.
That's good. It's really good.
Yeah, I know. I've been working on that. We should probably end it there.
All right. Goodbye.